Hi everyone, it's Lori-Lynn, SpiritWithinUs, and thank you for coming back to my channel, or if you're new to my channel, welcome. I deliver messages from Spirit. I use my intuition, my insight, and the cards as a tool. I do not predict the future. What I do is receive messages of guidance and inspiration, often find blockages that are necessary to move through. And so I do a universal reading to begin with, and then today I have 5 decks to choose, or 5 cards to choose from after the reading, and that will give you a more personalized guide. So the decks that I use are from the Soulful Women's, the Shaman's Oracle, the Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein, the Patch Tarot, and the Zen Tarot by Osho, which is definitely one of my favorites. And so if the message resonates, then stick with that. Know how, as you go along your day. The other day I posted a card about life review, and sometimes I don't know until afterwards, and then all of a sudden I think, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I just did. And I had no intention of doing a life review, but prior to going to sleep, I was thinking about something, and I went back and back on different situations. And it wasn't a bad thing. It was a really good thing, because I saw how things need to change, because only we can change ourselves. We can't change anybody else. That's not up to us, but we can change ourselves, the way we respond, the way we react. And we need to be listening to our intuition more and more and more every single day. If it doesn't seem right, then it's probably not. Or perhaps your intuition can guide you down a pathway that you're needing to take at that moment. So, again, and I think I explained this the other day, your gut instinct is often based on fear. It's based on past memory. And so when it's coming from the gut area, if it's fearful and it starts traveling up, you need to ask it, where is this coming from? And why is this coming to you now? And that will give you insight. It's not meant to stop you. It's just meant to give you insight. Our intuition is a complete knowing. It just knows that's the decision to make. That's the route to make. That's what you need to do. That's what our intuition is about. It's strong, and it comes without rhyme nor reason. And so I'm going to put the camera down and hopefully get it right this time. And these are the 5 decks that we're going to choose from. This is deck number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so I'm just going to put those aside. You can choose any way you want to. That's completely up to you, how you choose. But first we do the universal message. And so we begin with the Soulful Women's deck. And the first card that I receive or comes out for a universal message is a heart healing. And so when we heal our heart, it's actually a very courageous journey that brings upon a personal awakening and a deeper relationship with ourselves. And so when we receive this card, it's asking us to take a path along self-love to empowerment, to love ourselves. This is to align with and initiate higher levels of personal awakening within yourself, and to deepen your relationship with yourself. The number one relationship you should have is the one that's with yourself. And it's not about being selfish. It's about knowing that if you take care of yourself, if you love yourself, then you can help others. So this is about, for you, is finding that compassion for yourself, and with a thoughtful attitude that in regards to what's going on in your heart, and know that you're ready to heal any hurt and to take time to do that. Keeping our heart healthy and open should be a priority. To recognize the work that has to go into what's hurting us. And so often it does relate back to memories of the past and things that have gone on. And so, but to heal our heart allows us to listen more deeply to our intuition, our feelings and our instincts. And this is so important so that we really know that we're not led along as sheep. Discover by doing this what you need to honor. And most importantly is honoring and caring for your body, your mind, and your spirit. And so to become more attuned with your inner soul prompts. And in the course of this healing, you may even discover a new life guided by knowledge and wisdom. And that encompasses both the shadow sides of ourselves and the reveal side of ourselves. The shadow sides of ourselves usually are that subconsciousness and parts of ourselves that we really need to bring to the forefront. It's often laced in guilt or shame and blame. And this is to release all of this. And so today you're being asked to go on this courageous healing journey that brings you to personal awakening. And the second card that comes up is the card of boundaries. And that is an awareness as we're doing this. First, to take a look at the boundaries that you have preset, that you have relied on, if you even have any boundaries. And to know, to protect yourself and to know that if somebody is walking over you, so to speak, often it's because we don't have clear boundaries set. So it's time to set clear boundaries, to be aware of what your boundaries are. And boundaries are like energy doors that help you manage your life. At times, we can keep the doors open, inviting in blessings from others and from the environment, from the divine, from spirit. At other times, we need to close the door to nourish our own creativity, our energy, and our sense of well-being. And this is about, once we are allowing our heart to heal, this is really so much about saying to ourselves, I am setting up these boundaries for me. I am being clear on that because I'm not absorbing in that energy that you want to give away. A lot of people want to give away their energy. So there are tons of people who are more than willing to accept that and take on that energy. And so as they've given it to you, they walk along with none. And so because they've let it go. And so this is about you learning to let go and to create your own boundaries that are respectful and responsible, to nurture your own intentions, and to follow the path of your true self. So today's so much about healing your heart, and from that space, going back into your memories and blessing and clearing all those memories so that you're moving forward with an open and clear heart and setting your boundaries from that space. And now the cards that clarify these two cards come from the wisdom of the Shaman's Oracle. And the first card is the Shaman of Tradition. And so importantly, when we receive this card is to understand that lots of what is going on within us does come from tradition, what we've learned as children, and to understand that these situations and experiences are buried in the deepest memories and are often based on untruths. Our memories always change. They're never exactly the way we are. But when we bring them to the surface, then we often bring them forward in the wrong context or the wrong perception. We're always perceiving from this place and then through the years of having the memories. And I hope that makes sense, because I'm not sure if I can explain it better, but we go back, and what we want to do is to bring some of these memories to the surface and heal those memories. That's what's before you. And we also want to get past all of that to the place where you had this open heart, this childlike lust for life, and to heal what needs to be healed, so you can go to that place and remember and find the traditions that match your dreams and your aspirations. And so the shaman is here to help heal and to bear upon you the gifts that are necessary for you to accomplish at this time. And so he's here going back even from past lifetimes, or just all of it, because all our traditions and our parents and our grandparents and everybody learns as they move along. And if you're in an experience that needs to change, you are right now the catalyst for that change. That's what this is about. But it's also bringing forth tradition. There are a lot of traditions that are really good, that are very meaningful. So you get to discern and decide which traditions you want to bring forward. That's up to you. And he reminds us that we should never ignore tradition. This is often a vehicle for ancestral wisdom and can offer us vital clues about who we are. And so he'll help us to discern all of that as we go back upon what is this tradition in life. And this is the way I am because that's the way I am. And again, that's either I can take that with me and use it and carry it along with pride, or I can choose to release it. So the shaman is traditions with us. The next card that comes forward is the Hunter of Abundance. And the Hunter of Abundance, wherever you go, he goes ahead of us, and he looks for pathways. He looks for goodness that will bring bounty, that will encourage you with stability, strength, growth, and he will comfort you. And when he finds these things, this is like spirit going ahead of you, and they're coming in and nudging you along that journey, that part of your journey that you have asked. So if you've prayed and you've asked and you've set the intention, understand that the Hunter of Abundance, Spirit is with you. Spirit will help you align, will help you seek out what you truly wish, that which will fulfill a purpose in your life. And then it will overflow of fruitfulness, of riches. And that's a spirit, heart, and mind. It's not just riches being money, but it's of all, and it's encompassing all of that. And that's sending off this beautiful energy that surrounds us. And know that at this time, and this will just be important for some people, that right now that we are all in a position that we are struggling a little bit because there's so much unknown. But know that the Hunter of Abundance, that he will provide. And there will be ways that will come forward if you sit in honesty and you're honest and truthful with yourself and with a profound sense of spirit and love for all. And that in itself will bring forth the abundance that you're looking for, that you're wanting. And that could be in a way an abundance because of the heart healing. It could be an abundance of love, support from friends. And it may be bringing forth a partner, creatively bringing forth a new job. However that abundance is, it's just maybe an idea, a thought, which will come to you, which will allow you to feel more safe and secure in where you are. Which is, I'm going to say that, but then I'm also going to say that feeling of safety and security is a feeling that you have to perhaps dig down for, and maybe that will be in the messages in the end. But it's those messages that you have to dig down for to heal, so that we're open to, and we have that energetic feeling of abundance. Okay, so the final card of clarity is the Shaman of the Stars, and that really is a beautiful card in that position, because we're really talking about the Shaman of Stars is the shaman of love within yourself, is that's that bright light within yourself. And this shaman is here to bring the heavens, to bring the answers, to bring guidance from the heavens down upon you. And he's asking you to look all around and to see the beauty that's around, the beauty within the sky, and to do all that is necessary to sit in that vibration of love and truth, and to energize yourself. And he brings blessings to you to restore you with strength when it's most needed. That star is within yourself. And so perhaps tonight, or take some time out to sit in, I would say sit in the sun, but it's also just as important to sit outside in the moonlight and see the stars, and to see how much beauty and how much love and how expansive it is out there, and how much is available to us, and what it is necessary for us to release and to bring forward. The Shaman of Stars, whenever he appears in a reading, enhances the meanings of the other cards. And he brings forth the deepest levels of wisdom and understanding. So know that he's really trying to shed light on perhaps your other, some of the things that need to be released, to let go of, to start living that life of zero limits with no boundary, or with no boundaries. We need to have clear boundaries with no limits. The limits that were placed upon us, that's part of tradition. And then understanding there's also limits that that we need in place, so that we are the best of who we are meant to be. And so the next two cards are from the Patch Tarot. And the first card is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a card that about generosity. It shows us the generosity that come from being courageous and moving through from perhaps false beliefs that we weren't enough, that we didn't deserve more, that often keeps us stuck in this space. It's coming after the Five of Discs, which is often chaos, but fives represent courage. So this is having moved past that courage, and to be open to and to receive that which the universe is offering to us. And in that just one second, don't let me dog out. And in that same sense now, being able to and prepared to give. It's not just about receiving, but it's also about giving. So offering and receiving. And so whereas you may be in the position to receive money at this point, because you've now opened that up. And from there is to offer to others, to share that. And so the 6 is usually it brings us an understanding that everything is sacred and that nothing is taken for granted. Here, financial actions are taken with loving wisdom, gifts are given, and the crisis of the past is overcome. And that's from changing our vibration, changing our lifestyle, making new decisions. And that comes from healing the heart, from setting boundaries, knowing what you're willing to accept, and know what you're willing to embrace, and to living that life of give and take, always being grateful for everything that you were given and receive. Okay, beautifully done. The next card is the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands this is mostly about money, but it's interesting because the 4 of Wands is also a twin flame card. And so it can indicate in any measure, but it also indicates success. Not a completion, but a success. And again, it says you've reached the end of a pathway and that you are now ready to move forward into a whole different lifestyle, state of being. You've achieved many goals. And so to recognize that you have achieved these goals, and because you're walking in this new vibration of love and of commitment to yourself, your life, to your journey, and not taking for granted, for knowing that we have to at all times be really open. But so many changes have come forth, and they've all begun with the healing of your heart and setting up those clear boundaries. It's so imperative, because this is one of the most positive readings that I've within a day that I've seen in a long time. And it all does begin with healing your heart, and then with a complete understanding of what you need to release, some of the traditions that have been long sat within, the depths of your subconscious, and it's reaching down to those and changing and rewriting that story. When you become aligned with that you can go through and you can say, no, that does no longer resemble who I am, and I get to choose from what I want to do, from where I am, and choose what I want my ideal to be, and then creating this. And so there's a lot of luck and success. If it's in regard to a relationship, then perhaps a lot of what is transpiring within this relationship, whether it's new, renewed, but it's stepping into a new pathway and seeing that light and seeing where you have worked really hard, you have given so much, and now success is for you, success is there, and you can bring forth. So be conscious of your thoughts and your words. And excuse me, I get my dog again. Thank you. So be conscious of your thoughts and your words and intentions, and set them for what you want. So the next two cards, yeah, so this generosity card is highlighted by the appreciation card, which again is saying that you need to give gratitude. You need to appreciate all that you have now. And appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. And that's what you want to do. You are in control of your life, of manifesting, of bringing forth. And so know that you have all of this, you have all of these guides, spirit, past loved ones, so much around you that is bringing forth what you've put out into the universe. And so be appreciative for every single thing that you have, because that is what generates more. Give gratitude and give thanks. And most of all, love yourself. That's the most important thing, because when we do love ourselves, then when something comes to us, we go, wow, that's because I love myself. Anyways, so again, this is much about manifesting. So manifesting is a creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit world and the spirit of the world. And so this is asking and understanding that we are the world, that we are all in this together, and that it's necessary for us to align first individually to know what we want to manifest, and we want to co-create our experience. And if we all do this on an individual basis, because it's based in love, because it's based in co-creating with the universe, with spirit, with the divine, because it's aligned with God, we are going to connect to one another. And so at this time, it's about manifesting, bringing into your life what is most necessary, and putting that out into the universe, and then allowing the universe to bring forth the abundance, the love, the creativity, and the generosity that you need at this time. And so I'm going to pick two cards from, I have two different decks there, from this deck, and see what further messages. Okay, the two cards and love again. I had to pull that out because the card comes every single time almost. So it's so much about love. And when we choose love, we allow love to become the most powerful force for change. I always say love is the answer. What was the question? Not sure, but love is always the answer. Money's not the answer. Money helps us. So we need money in this society in order to grow, to move forward, to have the things that we most want. But do it from your heart. Know that what you're wanting and what you're bringing forward comes from that place of love. So let love become a powerful force for change. This card is about risk, about taking a risk. You have the power within you to move mountains. If we're expecting for somebody else to do something, when we're expecting just to sit back and have someone ring on our doorbell, that can only happen, I guess, if we set the intention, or someone to call us, somebody to, we have that power within ourselves, and that can really be about putting it out, with aligning with spirit, with grounding ourselves, with clearing our chakras, with being whole and complete, taking the risk, knowing that we get what we ask for. And so ask for what your heart wants. And then trust. The card of the heart healing and the card of the boundaries. And so often when we are in that space, because we have had past hurts or some of our decisions haven't worked out, it may have been because of blocks. Right now, you're being asked to trust in your decisions made by you, and to march to the beat of your own heart. So your decisions aren't based on somebody else's life, aren't based on somebody else's journey. They're based on your journey, and you get to trust. You get to choose your decisions. It's about you. And so once you've healed your heart, that won't weigh down. So when you get that, we'll go back to our gut feeling, that gut feeling, it doesn't pull on you because you've healed that wound. So once you've healed that wound, you let it go with blessings, love, and forgiveness. You begin to trust more and more your decisions, and know that your decisions are based in love, and that you can take the risks, and that you will do okay. You'll be okay. Okay, one more from this deck. Okay, two more. Whichever. Wow, okay, so the first card is Compass. The compass is about knowing where true north is, knowing where home is, knowing what you want, aligning it with your heart. All of what I've spoken about, that's what this card represents, is knowing where your home is, knowing where your heart is, knowing what you want to create, what you want to manifest, but being true to yourself. And the second card, again, this is about, a lot's about abundance. This is about the Golden Palace. And so that's going back, because what I'm seeing is this around the bubble around the palace. And that's about protection, and that's about boundaries. And so setting your boundaries so that you can create and bring into your life, that you get to create your life, that you get to be all of who you are. That's your right. So there is abundance, there's love, there's all of this awaiting for you. And I just want to do one Archangel card from Doreen Virtue's. Doreen Virtue's Archangel deck. And the card comes out of outdoors. And it's the card of Archangel Jophiel. And so she's really asking us to get outside, to reconnect with nature. Sometimes when we go for a walk, or when we garden, or when we do yard work, when we do a lot of these things, that's when we reconnect with that sense of wholeness. So make sure you're finding that time to get fresh air and connect with nature, to relieve some of the stress just that's going on right now. Don't forget to do that. If it's 5-10 minutes, if you're in an area that's cooler, such as I am, put a blanket around and just sit in the sunshine and allow that sun to just absorb. Maybe listen to a meditation at that same time, and to release and to let go of, and then just to truly embrace yourself with love, and then ask yourself what you truly want, and then put that out to the universe, put that out to spirit, give it to God, and let it go. Okay, so those are the main messages. And then we're back to, oh goodness, I don't even know which way this goes. So I'll have to figure it out as I go along. So the first pile, wow. So the first message is the card of success. And what this card asks at this time is to visualize yourself as being successful, knowing and wanting that success, and then seeing it. You have to be able to see yourself as successful. Send yourself messages that are successful, not ones that will put you down or leave you feeling lost. This is about feeling on top of the world, celebrating where you've come from, celebrating your successes. And the reason for the success is because of your willingness to accept the recent challenges of life. And as you do, as you truly give gratitude and appreciate this, you're enjoying a wonderful ride on the tiger of success. And if you're not quite there, this card signifies that you are on that pathway. And so to note that, and to really dig down for the happiness, to find that happiness. I'm actually working with a client right now, and she's been very successful in her journey because of her openness, because of her willingness to change, to create, to live the life that she so believes that she's earned and that she deserves. And so each step that she takes, she's to celebrate every one of those successes and to see her face just smiling, to see that the chakras are cleared and that she's so open and willing to bring forth into her life. And that's what this is about. And so enjoy this peak while you're here. So ride that ride of success. You've earned it. Okay, so that's the first card. The second card is of friendliness. And this card is really about, sorry, my voice is going on me, is really about connecting with others around you. It's about connecting with another, even just with one. And if you see this picture, the branches of these two flowering trees are intertwined. And their fallen petals blend together on the ground in beautiful colors. And so each tree is rooted and grounded. And the trees are bridged together by love. And in this way, they represent the essence of true friends, true friendship. Finding that way to be easy with one another and natural. And know that there's no urgency about the connection because there shouldn't be. There's no neediness, no desire to change the other into something that it's not. So this is about allowing. And so the appearance of this card indicates a readiness to enter this quality of love, of friendship, of togetherness. So it could be the start, because I did have a feeling in some ways this is with that twin flame card, and maybe this group is about going back to a place of love, of healing our heart, and connecting with your truth, and noticing that you're no longer interested in the dramas and the romances, the chaos that other people are so willing to commit to. And so this is the birth of a higher, more loving quality, born of the fulfillment of this experience. And again, it's the birth of a love that is truly unconditional, without expectation or demands. And so with this group, it really is to see what perhaps you've wanted, how you want to be, how you want to react. So spend some time meditating and be blissful, and then just allow love to transpire without expectation, without demands, or without conditions, and allowing somebody to be who they are is the most beautiful gift that you can give to one another. And so therefore, that's part of the understanding of the boundaries, of setting up the boundaries of what you're willing to accept and what you're willing to let go of. And so just allowing a natural rhythm of friendship to begin. So this may be a friendship within regards to a new relationship, just with friends, as friends, or it could be beginning of a relationship in a loving manner. And it's by seeing and understanding one another differently, and getting to know that we're all unique, and that together this partnership is beautiful and can create more than we ever thought possible. So that's card 2. And so the third card, the third card is that of integration, and that's a major arcana card. And so I'll need to find it. Okay, so the image of integration is the fusion of opposites. It's the yin and yang. And so for this, the third group, this is a time of communication between the previously experienced dualities of life. Rather than opposing day, darkness suppressing the light, they work together to create a unified whole, turning endlessly into one another, each containing its deepest core of the seed of the opposite. The eagle and the swan are both beings of flight and majesty. This card, the integration card, is a symbol of self-creation, of new life, of mystical union, of alchemy. And so it's really of seeing so much more, so much beyond our regular perception. It's really digging deep within ourselves and being able to see how opposites can come together and reflect one another in a very positive manner, how they can support one another. And so we need to resolve within ourselves, within the two parts of our minds. I would say the two parts of the heart, the true heart and the false heart. And the false heart are those memories and messages that come to us, that we tell to ourselves, that are untruth. So it's recognizing those and to see how they have brought you forward and have allowed you to grow and expand to be who you are, and have allowed you to be who you are, and integrating all of that into who you are in this moment, and then moving forward and seeing with this gracefulness, with this integration of love, honesty, and respect of self. So that's card number 3. And so card number 4, yay, I did it right. Card number 4 is We Are the World. That's the card. I'll put it down while I go and find it in my pile. So We Are the World this is about understanding how connected we all are to one another. So for group number 4, it's really to see the differences within one another, with accepting the differences within one another, dancing around the mandala of earth with their hands joined together in joy and gratitude for the gift of life. So maybe for this group, it's been hard sought to really connect, to understand. Maybe this is about having a communication, about seeing how our differences unite and how our differences bring about so much more, bring about a new perspective, how we can learn from one another, from their experiences. Again, it's how we can support one another through their experiences and our experiences. We're all in this together. We're all unique. We are all beings of God and of light. And yet when we recognize the common source of our humanity, the common origins of our dreams and our longings, our hopes, and even our fears, we are able to see that we are all joined together in this great miracle of existence. And so we come together, so this group, to understand that fully and understand your role and the gift, so that we can combine our tremendous inner wealth of knowledge and wisdom and growth to create a treasure of love and wisdom that is available to all, and then to share that with one another. Don't be afraid to give away your information. We are all linked together in this exquisite pattern of eternal creation. And so once this is all over, if we've all given thought to, given rise to how we are connected, how we can all work together, how we can all play together, learn together, and grow together, when we come together as a community to celebrate, to sing, to dance, and to know that we are all created equally, then we're going to be okay. But we can't just be thinking of ourselves. And that's why that self-love is so important, because in order to give and to manifest and to connect with others, we have to love ourselves, to heal our heart of those wounds, so that we can join together and help one another. because the celebration goes beyond birth and death. There's a legacy for us to create one another, to help one another, to create a new life together, to see from different perspectives. And we are the world, and we need to do this together. We need to be unified. So with pile number 4, it's to see beyond yourself, to go beyond that, to go put that out with it first within your family and then within the community. If you need to reach out to groups to share your knowledge, to share your wisdom, do so. Give what you can. Give from your heart and from the depths of your soul. And so pile number 5, and it's the card of the mind. Okay, so this group, I should put it up. This group is stuck in their head, pretty much is what it's saying. It's to get past the mental stage, getting past the I'm going to say, just let me find this in my deck. Okay, the mind. This is what happens when we forget that the mind is meant to be a servant and just start to allow it to run our lives. And so that means we're being caught up in a fight within our head because we can't get past the subconscious. We find ourselves being drawn into experiences of chaos, experiences of drama, of arguments, of not being productive, because we become stuck in this space. And it's our ego that makes us human. And so this is where we need to get past, is past the ego. And so what you're being asked to do is to go into a room, shut the door, turn on a tape recorder, and give yourself total permission to say whatever is on your mind. The other idea is start a journal and start writing out. And you're needing to get outside of your head, but everything's staying stuck in there. So this is about releasing it. If you really allow all of what is stuck in your head to come, to let go, to be released without censorship or editing, you'll be amazed at the amount of rubbish that comes spewing forth. And so if you're not being honest with yourself, we may be saying, oh, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not worried about that. We're just pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. And we're keeping it all in our head. Right now, this is like a cloud. And we want to get outside of our head. And we want to get into our heart and into our real desires, not the desires of others, not the desires of the arguments that we were cut off of. For one day, start with one day, turn off the media, turn off the messages that every time you hear a message or you say a message or see a message that isn't positive, that isn't aligning with who you want to be, just back off. That's not mine. That message is not mine. I don't need to hold on to that. And allow your mind to almost recreate itself, to empty itself out with those stories. Write it out, write it out. If you're in a situation with another person, if you're arguing with somebody or being caught up, write it up until you see yourself as the hero of that story. And if you can do a little bit of this each day and seeing how certain things are keeping you stuck, because you want to be stuck in, maybe this makes you feel better that you're helping someone, or that the anger or the frustration it's an emotion. So that's making you feel alive, but it's really just bringing on more and more negativity. So step outside of that, get outdoors, write things down, say things into a microscope, just let it out so that you can begin to start sending yourself messages that are important, that you need to hear, that are true, and that are real. And so that are the 5 cards. And I keep looking at these decks, so I'm just going to add a message. And from the Mystic Tarot deck, and I'm guessing it might be a, wow, okay, so today really is much about, has lots to do with abundance and being grateful. And so if I look back at all of these different piles, and with the first card, with success, and that's giving gratitude and seeing yourself as being successful. The card of friendliness is about coming together with unity and finding differences and different ways perhaps that you can make money together. Of integration, again, is quite similar, of uniting as a group or with another, or just the differences of your mind, and seeing from a different perspective how you can create, how you can be prosperous. Because the 9 of Pentacles is a state of advancement where you've learned to be happy and be grateful for all that you have. So today is about abundance and about connecting with others and seeing your abundance differently from the next person. And the card of We Are the World, and that's how we can all help one another out. And in regards to the mind, is if you're not sitting in abundance, if you're not bringing forth, it's because you're stuck in your head. So it's to get outside of your head, to allow this all to come forward, to get out of your head, to clear those chakras, get into your heart, and align with the Creator, the Divine, and clear yourself to bring forth that which you do want. And again, here's the card of the Lovers. So if in regards to a relationship, and the Lovers card doesn't always mean a relationship. It can be a coming together of ideas. So I think that for some, this does have to do with coming together of a relationship and seeing how it may be stuck, or seeing how you're not open to that energy, and knowing that with the this group here and the 4 of Wands, that there is a relationship that needs to redefine and re-begin itself. And that only begins when we let down our guard, when we heal our heart and we set our boundaries. And there are new beginnings right now. The final card in there is the card of death. And so the card of death, and this is to do with ego. And because we're being offered in front of us many things, but in some aspects there needs to be change. And until we change, what I'm getting from this card is that there are some that are giving up. Not everyone, so it's not going to mean the same to everyone, but there are some people that are giving up. and it's not the time to do so. This is the time to come together. This is the time to receive. This is the time to give. This is time to support, to see one another as supportive, as friends, as creators, and to connect with love. And the other thing I see within this card is, on this side, is that the people that have given up are not facing the sun, and so it's turning to face the sun, to see that there is sunshine out there. Like, after this is all over, there's going to be a transformation. And yes, sometimes death does mean death. Much in my readings it does. And that message for me is always to say that death isn't bad. We don't, it's to be grateful. It's to understand, to know that why people are in our lives, why some things happen, we'll never know, but what can we learn from that? So, whether a death of a business, a death of a friendship, a death of somebody close to us, this is about learning and being open to understanding and accepting why people are in our lives, and then being grateful for that and changing relationships, changing the way relationships transpire, how they happen, and how we move forward. Okay, so that's the reading for today. I hope that it brought some clarity and made sense to you all. And if you like the video, again, subscribe. And I will see you in another couple of days. Namaste. Much love and God bless.